Hello, everyone. Mr. Zern here. Welcome back. Today, we're going to be delving into MIT's App Inventor. So, we're going to be creating a program just like our very first Blockly assignment from a few days ago, where we're going to be creating a Hello World program. So, just kind of looking at some of the requirements quick before we get into it. Basically, contains a label or other user interface element. There are some options there that says Hello World or some variation of that. All the components are appropriately labeled. Possesses a user-friendly layout and professional look. All the assignments are going to have that requirement right there. And if you are a super computer ninja there and you want to unleash your expert beast mode, you can impress me by making your app interactive. For example, you press the button and then it says Hello World. So for a moment, let's just review. And in Blockly, we created a program that said, hey, print, and then we said what? Hello World. So when I run the program, boop, Hello World shows up. So to kind of recap, we're going to make a program very similar to App Inventor. So I'm going to come down here, click the link. It's going to launch App Inventor for you. You may need to log in. If it's your first time, I'm most likely already logged in. I would just use your school Google account to do that. You'll probably get a little pop-up window that says, whatever the recent updates are. You can probably click never show this to me again and okay. All right, so I'm going to click start new priority. You can see I've got like a bajillion things there. You won't have any yet, but you will soon. So project name. Naming structure is really important when you're doing this. And so you'll hear me talk about version control as we go along here. Just like there's different iOSs on your phone. We've got iOS 13 on now, and we're looking towards 14 here in the near future. This is the same way. So I'm going to call this like Hello World. There's a couple ways that you could title it. I don't think we can do spaces. I usually do camel case, which looks like this. So the first word is all lowercase. The first letter of each additional word, is capital. So you can see the W is large there. And I might call this like 1.1. It won't let me use points this version. Okay, so we'll do it 1_1 there. So here's version 1.1. And as I make additional versions, I can go back to that. And the big reason is this. This is going to be a very simple program. But as we get into more complex programs that take multiple days with multiple things happening, once we do, get a component to work, we probably want to save it and then do a save as and save it as the next version as we start to add that second component. Because there are times that you will wreck the program and it's just going to be easier to move a step back before you started that and then just kind of begin from that step. Because sometimes it's so much work to fix it, it's just easier to use this version control. So we'll talk more about that as we go along. So we've got Hello World 1.1. All right, so it's going to spool up here again, I guess, and I should see like a little phone screen tablet thing looking. It's a little slow here today. I guess just too many people working this thing. There we go. And we can see you can do a phone, you could do a tablet. I'm going to do tablet because that's what we'll be using in classes with this tablet size. And so here it kind of looks like our phone. We are in the designer element, and just like in Blockly, there was some drawers with lots of pieces. We've got lots of user interface pieces we can get down here. Some of these we will use this marking period. Some we won't. There's others we'll just get into later as time goes on. But I'm going to kind of focus here on this user interface. And so we can see this is my screen one there. You could leave that if you want, just like that. And just something real simple. I'm going to grab a label and drag it over here so it sticks a little label. Now, what we want to do is we want to start to label these. Now, right now, we're probably only going to have one label, but as we start to do this, you might have, 2 labels and 3 labels and 4 labels. And very quickly, you're going to forget what label 4 does, what label 2 does. And so it's important to name these. And so I'm going to rename it and Hello World label. And so when I say, oh yeah, that's what that label is doing. You could have other labels that do other things. I'm going to delete these other ones here at the moment. There we go. One more to get rid of. Okay. All right, so I've got a hello world label. I've labeled it. Big thing there to get to do is constantly just label all the components that we have in here. Right now we have this, but there's other things you could add in, and we'll get into this later. There's a button, and now I've got button one. It's kind of the same thing. You could have multiple buttons in there, and we will be doing stuff like that here in the near future. And instead of button one, you probably want to label it. Enter button, so it's going to do something when I execute it. I'll just delete it for now, just to kind of keep things simple. The next one we have over here is the property. So if I click on, right now I'm clicked on screen, and so this is going to affect the screen properties. And so right now we can see the background is white. I can pick yellow. Now the background is yellow. You can see there's all kinds of things there that we can explore and change as we want. We could have a background image. You'd have to upload that. We'll get into those things a little later, and a lot of stuff like that. Now, again, if I click on this hello world label, we can see there's properties, and I can change all of those things there too. I can, now probably that's pretty awful there, text for label one. So why don't we fill that in, hello world? And so now we can see if I click out of it, it'll say hello world, but that's pretty lame, just kind of smashed up in the corner. We can see I can make it bold. I could change the size if I want, 36. I could kind of fill the parent, which will sort of make the box, doesn't move the text, makes the box kind of fill the space. And I could do alignment, so I could make it on the right. I could make it on the center. We could change the text to a different color. Probably green on green is not a great choice, right? It kind of makes it invisible. We could do blue. That's looking kind of ugly, right? Do red, do a little bit of Christmas lettering there. So lots of ways to kind of change that. I think I can even make it visible or invisible. There's reasons to do that, which we'll get into later in this semester. And so now the next step is to actually test it. Looks like it's going to work here. And what you would do is go to Connect and go to AI Companion, and a little QR code is going to come up. And at this point, you would take your Android tablet and you would scan that. So if I scan it, now you can't see it happening, but I'm going to scan it here on my tablet. Tablet's going slow there. And once I do that, the QR code will disappear once it's been appropriately scanned on my end there. I'll just kind of close it down, and I can test it on my tablet. And so this is what we call the designer view, where I can design what the layout is going to look like. All right, so basically I just showed you everything that you need to do there to create the program that basically says hello world. When I publish it, I'll be able to see it and check that out. All right, so look forward to seeing your hello world. Of course, you can do some really cool stuff, but that should be enough to kind of give you just sort of a crash course in what that can look like. All right, I will talk to you guys later.